So my name is Courtney Black, and I am a travel writer, travel photographer. I'm originally from New Mexico in the United States, though I did grow up all over. And I came to Arranmore Island initially just out of curiosity after seeing the viral articles and letter that went all over the internet. I already had my ticket booked to Ireland, to Dublin, to visit, and thought I might as well check it out while I'm here. So I travel full time. I don't have any particular place that I live or stay for very long. I work as I go, and Arranmore seemed like an appropriate place to, I guess, do that from. So currently that's my go-to as far as having a place that I feel comfortable in, a place that I feel like I could potentially call home. Initially, the viral letter, was talking about there being a workspace that was available, and it talked about the island a bit and just how peaceful it was and inviting it was, and how they were looking to kind of add to their population as it was a bit small in these days. So initially, it also, I think one of the things that I've talked about since with some of the people on the island is one of the most attracting things, and I think it's something that was attracted thousands and thousands of emails and thousands of people were interested in, is partially, I think, because of the hashtag they chose. And the hashtag was, or is, coming home. And I think home is a very powerful word for many people, and it was something that was picked up very quickly, I think, for many people who maybe don't have that sense or are looking for something similar. So I would say first and foremost, I'm a photographer. I have my degree in photojournalism, and so I do both travel photography and travel writing. I've been in photography for 13, 14 years now, and I travel all over. So I initially started a long time ago. I think one of my first trips was to India, traveling around with a group of people. Initially from my college, we created a documentary about southern India, and it kind of encompassed life as it is there. And from there, it just kind of kickstarted everything to create a deeper passion for travel work and travel photography as it is. So I spend a different amount of time in different locations. I spent about 6 months traveling through South America, just capturing different aspects of it. Again, different locations, some more well-known places like Machu Picchu or the Bolivian salt flats in Uyuni, but also trying to capture some of the lesser-known areas and hidden gems, you might say, of these different cities or countries. Through my travels and a lot of my travels on my own, I've discovered that it's something that a lot of women want to do. A lot of women are branching out and doing on their own. So one of my main focuses is empowering women, especially young women, to step out of their comfort zone and explore on their own. So essentially, I have gone through a lot of different experiences in my own personal life, a lot of difficult experiences, and I found that travel is one of the most healing salves that there is for those experiences. And so I empower women to love themselves through traveling, one trip at a time. So most of my following is female, and I think that they do find some sort of inspiration in traveling and follow along the basic tips and advice that I can provide. I also feel I share a lot of my personal story and a lot of my personal successes and failures very openly and honestly. I don't like to really sugarcoat things, and so I feel that that's the best way to present most stories and most travel information that is out there, because it's not all glamorous. So all of that can be found on my website, and it's cocobetty.com, COCOBETTY.com. And I generally, most people find me through Social media is a big one, and then also through other linked articles and linked websites. A lot of it is, again, through networking and just putting my story out there. So generally traveling is seen as very adventurous and very glamorous, and it is amazing, and it is definitely a dream, but there's a lot more to it, and there's a lot that goes behind the scenes, especially when you work full-time while you're traveling. So it can be really stressful. And for me, Arranmore is essentially that peace in the midst of the storm. It's very calming and it's very relaxing, and there's a magic here that is hard to ignore and hard to overlook. So every time I come back to Arranmore, I can find time to actually get work done, find a warm and welcoming community that's always there and ready to help no matter what, and always find a good pint down at the bar. So Arranmore initially was a bit complicated to get to. I think I had a hard time finding information online and figuring out what buses to take and vans and, you know, the options that were available, especially since I didn't rent a car. Of course, that would have been much easier, but I've never been known to take the easy road. So since being here a couple times now, I found that probably the easiest option is flying from Donegal Airport to Dublin. And Dublin is really convenient for flying in and out of all over Europe, anywhere you really need to go. So it makes it pretty easy to get to the island. It's only about a 20-minute drive to the airport, to Donegal Airport from Burtonport. It's quite convenient and fairly easy to access. Of course, you do have to think about the ferry times and the time of year that you do come to Arranmore, because the times do change based on the season and the month. And it can be a bit complicated trying to organize it all, but really in the end, it's a fairly easy process to come and go. For me, in what I do, life can be overwhelming, and life can be a lot to take in and a lot to handle. But Arranmore has definitely been a breath of fresh air for me in the midst of all the chaos. It provides a sense of calm and recuperation that's necessary for what I do, and allows a peace of mind that came quite unexpectedly at a point, I think, in time that most people are looking for that sense, that safe space.